Oh,
There we
switching.
go.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Hello, everyone. I am Lisa Twilley, the director of the MCE Women's Business Center. And just to give you a little bit of information about us, we're a nonprofit based here in Salisbury. We assist entrepreneurs that are getting started in business or if they're already in business and trying to expand. We also have an office in Baltimore, so we service all the entire Eastern Shore of Maryland, Baltimore City, Baltimore County, and Anne Arundel County. So I'm glad you guys could be here with us today. And we do business consulting, marketing consulting, training workshops such as this. We also do small business loans. So if we can be of assistance to you in any way, I'm going to put my information in the chat. Please be sure to reach out. And I also want to mention we have it's our 10th annual Women's Business Conference happening in Salisbury at the Civic Center on March 14th. And we still have vendor space available. It's a great day, fun day. Lots of great information. It's from 9 to 3. So I'll see if I can put that in the chat as well, the flyer. But today we have Betsy Long, who is here to talk to us about social media. Thank you for being here, Betsy. And I'll let you tell them a little bit about yourself and get started.
Yes, my name is Betsy Long. I am the owner and a social media manager at Belong Socials. We are based out of Snow Hill, Maryland. We have an office in Snow Hill, but we serve the entire shore. We have clientele all the way from Cambridge to Southern Delaware. Our specialty is authentic content, collaboration, and organic engagement. We do social media management, we do content creation, we do some design of content, and we also host real life social events at our office in Snow Hill. So we kind of take the dual meaning of socials and try to incorporate some of what people think is missing from life these days, which is real social engagement. So we kind of tie it all together. And that's the basics of what I do. Um, so today I am going to be talking to you guys about social media basics, basically a 101 type course. It's for anyone who wants to start social media for their business or step up your game, or maybe just learn some things that maybe you weren't aware of. And that's pretty much it. So I have a presentation, like a PowerPoint or slides. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. I think my video is gonna go away. So if you have any questions during the presentation, please type those into the chat. I'm gonna take a couple of breaks for conversation, and Lisa's going to read those questions to me so that I can respond to you guys. Again, I appreciate you being here. Bear with me. This is my, a new experience for me leading a webinar. I've come to many of them, especially the Maryland Capital Enterprise ones. So I'm happy to be doing this, but technology is technology. So I'm going to start sharing my screen so we can hopefully see this presentation. Let's see. All right, all right. Hopefully everybody can see that. Lisa, is that up the way it's supposed to be?
Yep, it looks great.
All right. So social media 101, which I've already touched on. Through our social media business, our purpose is to help small businesses take the burden of social media off their plates. But what I also want to do is give people the tools to do it themselves. Social media management can be expensive, and there's a lot of things that you can do basically yourself to start growing your platforms. We'll cover the basics, and we will start with what is social media, basic question. We'll go into how to get started or step up your game, and then we'll talk about the basics of growth and success. So in the first part, we'll explore the platforms and their value to your business. Second part, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of getting set up. and then we will talk about where to go from there. So we will start with, what is social media? The simple answer to this is online platforms for people to connect. Um, what's started as a way for people to keep up with their friends and family has kind of grown into a dual purpose. So we're still keeping up with our friends and family. We're still checking out what people are up to, seeing those vacation photos, and watching the kids grow up. But we're also slowly morphing our social media into a marketing opportunity. So many businesses are on social media. Many businesses are exploring ways to add that to their marketing plan. And the great thing about social media is that a lot of it is free. So taking advantage of that is becoming super important for all size businesses, especially small local businesses, to do. Um, there are three main platforms that I deal with, and the three we'll be talking about today: Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We'll talk about what they are, we'll talk about who they reach, and I will list some of my pros and cons. May not be the same for everybody, but in my experience, what I find to be the pros and cons of each of these platforms. All three allow you to reach different demographics. Each has something valuable to offer, but it really depends on your business and your product to determine which platforms are right for you. Hopefully, I can provide some insight on that. We will start with Facebook. Facebook is really the first social media, in my opinion, that took off. There were plenty before it. Think MySpace, Friendster, and then some other more professional related social media platforms. But Facebook was really the first thing to make it big, in my opinion. Maybe alongside Twitter, but Facebook really has hit the mark. This platform utilizes text, photo, and video to display content on individual profiles or pages, as well as on a feed. So you can search individual pages, or you can just kind of scroll through people that you're following. There are still aspects of personal relationships on Facebook, but you're getting a little bit more into an ad-heavy marketing feel for Facebook these days. Your demographic is going to be more towards the 40 plus demo, and Facebook uses paid and targeted ads in addition to their organic content. The pros are that as a business, Facebook is more informational than lifestyle content. So people are coming to Facebook to find business information specifically. They're not going to feel overwhelmed if you're marketing on Facebook. They're going to kind of expect it. And Facebook actually has become sort of a second Google. You know, people are going onto Facebook to find out when their favorite place is open, what the sales are, what kind of things are going on at restaurants, at bars, stores, and even events for your small business or nonprofit. Facebook is the hub for that. Your demographic being 40 plus, you've got people who are typically stable. They typically have more money. They're interested in spending that money. So as a business, that's going to be valuable to you. And also Facebook has the best, in my opinion, social media rating and review tool. You've got your Google reviews, which is something else you can use, but as far as social media, Facebook, you have people can rate you on there, they can give you stars, they can write reviews, they can give recommendations. We've all seen someone go to Facebook and be like, can someone recommend blah, blah, blah. And then, people have the opportunity to tag you and do that on Facebook. So that's very beneficial for businesses. Some of the cons, in my opinion, you are missing out on a younger demographic sometimes. A lot of youth are not really using Facebook anymore. College age, young adult are moving more towards other platforms. Also, Facebook, because it has become focused on ads and marketing, sometimes the feed can be oversaturated. People might get lost on there. They might, your post might drown. They might get monotonous. Um, so that is something to consider. And also, Facebook has the potential, well, all platforms do, but Facebook especially, for false information and negativity, where those ratings and reviews can really help you. They can hurt you as well, because people can kind of go on there and say whatever they want about your business, whether it is true or not. And sometimes those things catch on, and that can be kind of a mess to clean up as far as your business. So a tip for that, just that specific con, is kind of staying on top of it and kind of seeing what people are saying about you on social media, on Facebook, and kind of addressing those things with whoever's saying it, or addressing them on your page, which can go either way. So that is just a brief explanation of Facebook. Next, we'll move on to Instagram. So Instagram focuses on photos and graphics, as well as videos, which they call Reels, to display their content. It mainly attracts a younger demographic, college age to mid 40s. In my opinion, Instagram has the furthest reaching demographic. So you're also reaching some older teens, and then 40 plus audiences. Instagram is growing rapidly, and a lot of people are making the switch or adding on to their Facebook by having an Instagram account. Instagram focuses on lifestyle content rather than your classic marketing. Your audience is best reached through authentic and relatable content. So people go to Instagram to see what's going on with other people, to see what's going on with businesses, to look at your product or service and be like, I want that. They're looking for shareable content and things that either make them laugh, or they say, oh, wow, I really understand that, or I feel that. That is the main purpose of Instagram for most people. As far as your pros, as I just mentioned, you have the further reaching demographic. Instagram also has a algorithm, which all social media does, but the Instagram algorithm is a little bit more focused than the Facebook algorithm. So Instagram is propelling content towards a specific audience based on their activity on the app. And also you can add to that by using hashtags, collaborations, and things like that. And also Instagram allows for a little bit more creativity, pushes the boundary of your classic marketing, and it is great for those who think outside of the box. You have an opportunity to do a little bit more creative content than on Facebook. The cons of Instagram that I have listed, one is that consistency is key. You need to be consistent on Instagram to make an impact. So if you don't have the time to commit to it, if you don't have a schedule, if you don't have a plan, Instagram is not going to be as productive for you. The other con I have listed, which is also listed as a pro, is the algorithm. So the Instagram algorithm changes a lot. It can be hard to keep up with or know what content will work at any given time. Because of this, it's imperative that you're active on Instagram. So posting something and getting off it, while it can reach some people, it's not going to be as effective as interacting, paying attention to what's trending, or working for others. It is time consuming. There is an element of stress that goes with it. So sometimes that can be a con of Instagram. And then third, you are, if your product is specific to an older demographic or a younger demographic, you may miss the mark on Instagram. But as I mentioned before, that is kind of a small con, because for the most part, you're getting the largest span on Instagram. Third is TikTok. TikTok has been around since, kind of took off during the pandemic. But as far as businesses utilizing TikTok, it's kind of the new kid on the block. TikTok is almost exclusively video content. You can allow, they do like slideshows of pictures, but for the most part, people go there for videos. Your demographic is mid-30s and younger primarily. Others are getting on board with TikTok, but for now, I would say mid-30s and younger. Um, TikTok has an extremely, excuse me. TikTok, you can find anything from the completely insane to classic marketing techniques. There's less guardrails, there's less rules on TikTok. So you can really get creative and you can do some things that maybe you wouldn't do on other platforms. Um, the pros of TikTok, it is fun and creative, exciting and different. Again, if you think out of the box, if you want to shock some people with some of the marketing stuff you're doing, TikTok is the place to be. Second pro is that there's a wide reach potential and high chance of virality. So you can reach many people from all over the world in different walks of life on TikTok, and there's a high potential of having a viral video. In my opinion, that's 10,000 or more views for a small business. And then TikTok, again, with the algorithm, theirs is extremely specified, more so than Instagram. So people on TikTok are seeing exactly what they want to see for the most part based on their activity on the app. The cons are that TikTok is not appealing to everybody. It can be vulgar, it can be strange, and a lot of the creators on TikTok are unapologetic. So they're not in that customer service person is always right, customer's always right sort of mindset, and that can be off-putting to some people. The algorithm, although specific, is content-based, not location-based, so you may be reaching a lot of people, but if you're a small business trying to reach people right in your own backyard, you may be missing the mark on that. So your efforts might not translate into actual customers unless you're offering an online product, which it can be very helpful for that. The TikTok algorithm, again, it's in the pro and con category. It is very specific. So viewers often have a skewed reality of the wide spectrum of what is available or happening on the rest of the platform. So I will take a moment there to see if anything is in the chat. Lisa, do we have anything?
There's nothing in the chat right now, but feel free to unmute yourself if you have a question. Nobody? Okay.
All right, no worries. We'll keep on going. Okay, so next we're going to talk about how to get started. We're going to talk about choosing your platforms, what's in a name, building a foundation, and then also engagement. So choosing your platform based on all the information I've just given you and just your personal experience with these platforms, take a moment to figure out, what will work for your business. What's your demographic? What are your business goals? And what kind of content do you want to offer? My recommendations are at a minimum to do Facebook. The great thing about Instagram and Facebook are that they are connected. So you have the opportunity for whatever you post on Instagram to be easily shared at the same time on Facebook. So you're reaching both audiences and it's minimal effort on your part because you can post the same thing on each and reach a different audience. If that seems overwhelming, my recommendation is start with Facebook and then move along to the other two if you decide it's worth it for your business. Next will be choosing a name. So it's different on each platform, but the main theme is that you want your name to be clear, concise, and searchable. On Facebook, I recommend your business name if it's available. If your business is one of those businesses that has a common name, adding something like your location or like even saying like, oh, Salisbury or East Coast or something just to differentiate you from those other businesses is great for Facebook. Instagram, remember that an Instagram name appears as all one word in lowercase letters. So you can separate those words with like a period, a hyphen, or an underscore to help make your name more clear, but kind of play around with names and just make sure that while you're using your business name, you're not using something that can be interpreted another way. And again, you want it to be searchable, so you want it to include your actual business name if you're, if you're using Instagram for business. For TikTok, it's very similar. Same thing with the all one word, lowercase name. If you have the opportunity to make them the same, that's awesome. But both Instagram and TikTok, if somebody else has that name, they're not going to allow you to use the same one. So trying to find one that you could use on both to make it easier for people to find you, and also keeping those other things in mind. 3 is building a foundation for a following. So the first step is to follow relevant accounts. Follow businesses that are similar to yours. Follow your clients if that's applicable. And be wary of following too many personal friends or family from your business page. Some people, if they're your clients, if they're your close friends, it may be beneficial to have them following you and following them back so that they can share and support you. It can blur the lines though to make it seem more like a personal page than a business page. So kind of be careful weighing that out. Um, Making your first post. This seems really easy, but if you're just getting started, it can be overwhelming. Um, my recommendations for a first post, or if you're already on social media and you're gonna like jump back in or rebrand yourself, is just a general post explaining your business information and encourage others to follow you or share that post so that it can reach out to people that are in their networks. With any post, especially the first post, I say just put it out there. You're not reaching anybody by not posting at all. So posting something and maybe getting 1 or 2 interactions on it teaches you what's working and what's not, but also sets you up to try some other things in the future. Next is to find inspiration in popular or successful accounts in your field. Observe other popular accounts in your niche. I am not condoning copying or stealing directly what others are doing. But if you're checking out a few successful pages in your industry, it can be very helpful to see what worked for them in general. Do they have a good response to video? Do they have a good response to photographs or carousels, graphics? See what people are interacting with, what's successful for them, and then taking your authentic content that is relevant to your business and then sharing it in a similar way can really help propel you into people's vision. Next is creating content. A lot of organic content is created in the moment, but it's very important to have some backlog of content to maintain consistency and encourage your growth. You should have some general photography, some graphics, and some all-purpose videos or B-roll to access at any time to create posts and content for your pages. These can be extremely simple. It can just be videos, pictures of what you offer, pictures of you doing something, videos. But having these ready to use at any time saves you the stress and allows you to maintain consistency in your posting even when you're busy. Last but not least, start engaging. So liking, sharing, commenting on relative content to your business. Other accounts are more likely to tune in or follow what you're doing if you're interacting with their content. Anyone with an active social media account, another business, another person, a client, if they're noticing that you're paying attention to what they're doing, they are going to probably return the favor. And then simple, go tell your clients. So share the news in a more traditional way to drive clients and new clients to your pages. This can be as simple as a flyer inside of your business with a QR code. Here's where you can find us on social media. Keeping that up at all times. If you do not workshops, newsletters, or if you communicate via text or email with your clients on a regular basis, pepper that in there. Find us on social media, get more information here, that sort of thing. Informing them of where to find you can make a difference. You know, people will be like, oh, well, it's easier for me because I'm on social media already. Also, lastly, sharing your business stuff on your own personal social media. So if you have a personal account on Facebook or Instagram that you have people watching or looking at, sharing that business post, maybe not too much overwhelming them, but giving them the shout out like, hey, don't forget I have this business if you want to know more about it. All right. So again, if anyone has any questions, feel free to type in the chat or unmute.
I don't see anything in the chat.
Okay, no worries.
Any questions?
All right, no big deal. Let's keep going. So this is where we really get into things that can help you, especially if you're already established on social media, if your business is already on there, if you're posting, if you're engaging, if you're doing all of that stuff. The tricky thing about social media is that it's always changing and growing. Um, in a way, social media posting and things like that are always going to be trial and error. What I'm going to talk about is really just what we have found through our work managing clients, and what has contributed to successful, steady, organic, and long term growth. Small businesses should be striving for on social media that, you know, you want real followers, you want people who are actually interested in what you have to say. You may get 2 to 3 new followers a week, and that might not seem like a lot, but if there are people who are actually in tune to what you're doing, they're most likely going to translate into real customers, not just people who are watching what you're doing online. The 3 basic keys that we have found to be the foundation of what we do are authenticity, consistency, and reciprocity. So, authenticity. Be yourself and don't be afraid to put yourself out there within reason, depending on what platform you're on. Oops, excuse me. These days, people use technology as a way to connect with real people, and more people want to see something real. AI can be helpful, but it doesn't connect with people the way that real video, photos, captions, and graphics will connect. You want to stay professional on these platforms, but you also want to be true to yourself. Um, if your product or service is not represented authentically on social media, viewers may not translate into customers. Or if they do translate into customers, they may be disappointed when the true product doesn't live up to the social media representation. In my opinion, your best bet is to be yourself. So if it's silly, if you're showing, you know, behind the scenes of your business and it's funny, people really relate to that. People are, you know, we're all flawed and we all have our different quirks. So I think showing your business, especially as a small business, showing that you're real, showing that you make mistakes, things like that, people really relate to. And if they relate to something, they're going to share it, and if they share it, your business and your product are going to be in front of more people. Next is consistency. Being consistent on social media is so important. Again, as I talked about earlier, jumping on your social media to post randomly whenever you have time or whenever you feel like it is still making an impact. So I would never tell someone not to do that. I think whatever you're doing is good. But as far as keeping it consistent, growing, finding those clients that are out there on social media, consistency really makes an impact. My recommendation is always post every 3 to 4 days or twice a week with a variety of types of media. So you're doing photos, you're doing reels, you're doing graphics, depending on what you're promoting or what you're doing. However, if 3 to 4 days is not attainable for you, once a week is perfect. And being consistent. So if it's once a week, it's once a week. If it's every 3 to 4 days, make it every 3 to 4 days. No matter how often you decide, the same thing I will preach over and over again is consistency. If you're posting once in a blue moon, you're going to reach drastically less viewers than if you post on a consistent timeline. Something that's helpful for this is a content calendar. It can be as simple as, at the end of every month for next month, say, okay, I'm going to post this day. Even if you don't know what you're going to post, I'm going to post this day, this day, this day. Also, most platforms have a scheduling tool. So you can go into Meta Business Suite, you can schedule your posts for the week or for the month if you know what you want to post, and that way it's kind of, if you pick an hour a week to do that, set everything up for the week, then you don't have to worry about it for the rest of the week other than your organic engagement, which we'll talk about next. If you own a business, you should have a vibe, personality of your business that should come through in your social media. It's just like anyone will tell you about branding, consistent with your branding so that, your website doesn't look drastically different from your social media. Your storefront doesn't look drastically different from your social media. People want to get the vibe for what you're doing. That way they know what to expect when they do come in or contact you. So that is consistency. And then last and certainly not least, we've got reciprocity. So this goes back to our authentic engagement. Do not do this alone. Finding like-minded individuals and companies to share and collaborate with. I mentioned it briefly before, but Instagram has a great collaboration tool, and I believe you can do it on TikTok as well, where you can make a post, ask someone to collaborate with you, and then that post is showing up not only on your feed but on their feed as well. So I think you can do it with a number of people. It doesn't have to just be one other person you can share with. You can collaborate and get your information in front of more eyes. Organic engagement also plays into your authenticity and consistency. Engagement is liking, commenting, sharing. So commenting relevant and real messages on relatable posts, sharing posts to your Instagram or Facebook story, and even just going through and giving a thumbs up or a heart to a post that resonates with you. These are all steps towards the give and take required to grow organically on social media. Spending even 15 minutes a day towards this goal can increase your reach and engagement with profiles across social media platforms. So my suggestion with that and kind of how I set that up for my clients is I set an alarm. So I will commit myself. I'll say, okay, set an alarm for 15, 20, 30 minutes from now. I'm going to go through, I'm going to go on this account. I'm going to be answering comments. I'm going to be sharing. I'm going to be liking, engaging. And that's, also how you learn about what's working and what's not. So again, there's give and take. The more you give, the more you're going to get in return in that way. So those are my top three growth and success tips on social media. And that kind of wraps up what I'm here to talk to you about. So I'm going to encourage you to get out there and grow in your social media presence. I'm going to also let you know where you can reach me. So my email address, my Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. TikTok is a work in progress. I am not in that demographic personally, so it's a learning experience for me. And then I do have some upcoming webinars I'm working on with Lisa, so you can look for those in the future, talking about organic versus paid advertising and Instagram marketing strategies. So all of that information is there for you if you want to screenshot or take a photo. And then I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can show you my
Thank you so
face.
much, Betsy.
I think I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Where am I? Stop share. Okay.
Here we go. So, nobody had any questions? I know Jessica put something in the chat and said, I'm wondering about posting, so I will wait. Did you have a question about that?
Hi,
Jessica?
yeah. I think the thing for me and maybe other people share this same conundrum, is the content itself.
Okay.
Creating engaging content for me is the thing that I'm always stuck with. What would be interesting for somebody else to look at?
Yeah, it's it's tough, you know, and it's again, it goes back to just the authenticity. So I don't think you can go wrong with just like the real deal. Do you mind me asking, is what a type of business?
I'm a public speaking coach.
Oh, awesome. That's cool. So, you know, videos, I would say, of you teaching, if your clients will allow you to record them, videos of you teaching, just little snippets of little tips, you know, not giving the whole thing away for for free, but kind of like just a preview of what you might do. Um, photos of you working, photo, just general photos that have information about what you teach. I would think for something like that, just but again, just going back to that authentic you, like what it is you know, people for that are going to be wanting to get a feel for what it's like to work with you, I think.
Yeah, that
Hmm.
makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know Cece said use AI to get ideas.
Yeah, that's
Um,
definitely, I mean, ChatGPT can, you know, you put something in there and it can definitely give you ideas. And also, you know, finding other people that are in relevant business and kind of seeing what they're putting out there again, like just kind of looking through like what attracts you, like what is it that compels you to share something on your own social media, you know, something that's relevant, something that people really strikes a chord with people. I think observing and interacting on, you know, and again, a lot of business owners and people don't have a whole lot of time for that, so the chat gpt and the searching that can really help, but more so getting on there and just kind of seeing what's out there.
mhm. I agree. And she put, and Cece also put Canva. Use
Oh
Canva
yeah.
for like design.
Oh, Canva's great, and Canva has a
Mm.
lot of pre-made templates that you can make into your own, you know, so that you're not sitting there wondering, like, if you don't have an eye for design, if you don't have the patience or the time to do it, you know, you can just type in there and then change everything on that graphic to reflect what you are offering, and it's, you know, no
Mhm.
need to really hire somebody to do that. If you have the time to jump on there and create that content, it can be really simple.
Yep. Any other questions, guys? We do have some other classes coming up, so just be sure to, if you're not on our newsletter, be sure to email me, which I put my email in the chat, ltwillie@marylandcapital.org. That way, if you're added to our newsletter, you know when we have different classes coming up, or you can just go to our website and go under education and see what we have coming up there. Um, Hopefully, if any of you are local, you'll be able to join us for the conference. And I wasn't able to put it in here, but all the information is on our website. So for that as well. So lots of thank yous.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for, you know, listening to what I have to offer. And I hope that I helped you in some way. And I hope that you continue to join these. These webinars are so awesome, you know, that they offer these for free, and it really helps people connect. So I appreciate you all being here.
Well, thank you so much, and stay tuned for our next one.
Bye. See you guys.
Have
Have
a
a
good
great day.
day.